We now have updated versions of Vultures on streaming platforms, and we have a couple of interesting news concerning Kanye and the new album. So let's jump straight into this. If you want to stay up to date with everything surrounding hip-hop, make sure to subscribe and also become a part of this community by joining our Discord server in the description. Real quick, if you don't want to listen to this, make sure to skip 10 seconds into the future, but you can now sign up for my free newsletter with the first link in the description. It comes every Sunday and it recaps everything that's been happening in hip-hop over the past week, so make sure to do that. So just 2 days ago, we had the last video about Dolla ign, or Dolla ign, as someone kind of corrected me, because that would be the perfect way to pronounce this new album, because of Ye and the N from yen and then dollar sign, but it also means Ye and dollar sign. Get what I'm saying? Because Ye and Ty Dolla ign. I think that's actually what the album is going to be called, but we're going to talk about the duo. We're also going to be talking about what they have for their artist profile on Spotify. But first of all, I wanted to give y'all the reference that because we talked about Vultures in the last video, and I said that Lil Durk wasn't on it, which was kind of a disappointment for me, because I thought that the Lil Durk verse was honestly one of the strongest Lil Durk verses we've had in a long time, and him not being on the version that is being put out to streaming platforms was really a shame. Well, it kind of seems like they listened to the fans, because state of today, this was only like today that it came out, we have 2 versions of Vultures on streaming platforms. I think this first realized on Apple Music, but now it's also on Spotify. This is a screenshot that I just took. We have the OG version with just Bum J, but then there's also a new version with Lil Durk, which means that maybe the version with Lil Durk will then also be on the album. I've also seen some people talk about the cover, some people saying that they hope it's not the album cover, but honestly, I gotta say, if this is the album cover, I would be pretty happy about that. I think it looks cool. It's kind of that divine, very mystical way of the album, mystical vibe that we also get from the song. I think it's grand. I think it's definitely something that Kanye would choose as an album cover, because if you take a look at the last couple of album covers, they haven't always been that great either, so I'm okay with this album cover if that actually is the one. Now let's talk about Vultures a little bit more, because we have the first day streaming numbers of this, and it debuted on Spotify with over 2 million streams, which is a lot, and they dropped it without promotion. They dropped it independently, so without a label, because they still couldn't find someone to publish their stuff, so they dropped it independently. The actual source on, or the actual credit on the song is just Dolla ign as the publishers, and they dropped it randomly on a Tuesday. And for that to do more than 2 million streams is a lot, especially because it leaked before. Maybe that was part of the hype, but it's a lot. And I think it's a good sign that shows that the Kanye effect, or like Kanye just being not, canceled anymore, or not ever being canceled, that he's back and that he's doing big numbers, which is a good sign for the music to drop, because that kind of reinforces them and Kanye that it's actually going to hit and have some impact. Also, Kanye has achieved the most monthly listeners ever in his career with only this drop now. And now my screenshot is just a little below 60 million, but I've seen some others with over 60 million. Maybe it depends on the time zone you're in when that's updated or whatever, but he's about at 60 million monthly listeners just because of Vultures. Maybe this was that big of a spike. I don't know why, because I feel like the other Kanye songs, the famous ones, the top 5, they're still getting streamed more than Vultures, because 2 million on the first day. I think some Kanye songs are beating that have been out for like 10, 15 years, whatever. So it's kind of surprising that one song really did that for Kanye, but he's chasing new heights, which is also a good sign and just positive reinforcement going into the rollout of this album. Also, when you go to the Ye and Dolla Spotify profile, because they have an artist profile for the duo, and I talked about this in the last video, but I believe that they are going to have this, duo as a name, this group name, kind of like Kids See Ghosts. They dropped the self-titled album Kids See Ghosts, so I think that Ye and Dolla ign will drop the self-titled, project Ye and Dolla ign. It would just make sense, but they are now verified on Spotify. And I know it's not that hard to get verified on Spotify, but still, if they weren't like a legit artist, or someone just put them in there as a mistake, they wouldn't have that badge, because at the level of fame, at the level of influence that they're at, it would be removed if there was somewhat of a scam. But they're verified on Spotify now. Also just another good sign when it comes to the rollout. And some more Kanye news that have been happening over the past 2 days. Ye threw a party. Apparently he's still in Saudi Arabia or Dubai. We don't know where exactly. Some tried to tell me in the comments under the last video, but then they said that he was flying back to the US like on Wednesday. But apparently he's still in whatever country he's in, if it's the United Arab Emirates or if it's Saudi Arabia. But he threw a party. They were playing a bunch of songs, among others also Vultures. I think Tyga was there as well. Chris Brown was there as well. Bianca's there as well. After reports that she fled to her family because Kanye was being too controlling or whatever, seems like they're still there. So it all seems like good. It's nothing like crazy going on with the two of them. They're pretty much good and they're just partying. Now, us getting new info on this album basically every single day now is obviously a good sign when it comes to the release date of Ye and Dolla Ign. Now, I have to always make corrections of my predictions when I think this is going to drop, but let's talk about it real quick, because I always said that this was going to be dropping in 2024, but now honestly, after getting the single Vultures, now also getting an updated version of the single Vultures with the Lil Durk version, it honestly seems like they're really trying to put this out now, and I wouldn't be surprised if this actually still happens to drop in 2023. If we're going to see late November, early December, that could definitely be a possibility. I wouldn't be surprised. Now, honestly, I also wouldn't be surprised if it is 2024, and I don't want to get my hopes up for it being 2023, so I'm still okay with 2024. I think first quarter 2024 could definitely also be a realistic option. But at this point, I'm more so convinced that it can still drop this year than I was just 2 weeks ago, before we got the single, before we got a lot of the news, because now it seems like the rollout is picking up pace again. This was the same case with last big thing was Utopia. You know, we had a couple of things happen, then we thought, okay, it's not going to drop. There were a couple of theories when it was going to drop. And then once really the news started coming in by the day, so that I really had to make a video every single day just to get over all the news. So make sure you stay subscribed, because I'm going to drop a lot more videos on this. Then it really started picking up pace, and we got news and we got confirmations and announcement way more frequently than before. So it's always the same process with these big albums like Travis Scott, like Kanye, and it seems like we're moving in the right direction when it comes to Kanye. So I'm saying December. Let's just say December. But also January would also be possible. Let's see how this all plays out. But for now, that's all the info that we had on Kanye over the past 2 days. Let me know your thoughts about this. How do you feel about Lil Durk now being added to Vultures again on streaming? Is that a good sign? Is it not a good sign? Let me know all your thoughts about this, and also about the other things that I went over in this video. All your thoughts on this in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.